Are you listening?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Super Fast Starter Show, where we got everybody in the house today. I think we got a full house that we're going to have a house party.
House party.
House party.
Yeah.
He
You can even say this is a crazy house.
Yeah.
He offers valet parking. Woohoo!
Valley parking. Yeah. Well, the parking is free in front of your own lawn. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Everybody.
everyone.
Waffles
Good morning,
and
everybody.
Talbot's
Cootie
Apprentice and TD Dude and Musical
Yep.
and Hillbilly and Tortoise.
Captain Waffles. Whoop, whoop.
Woohoo. Yep. It's gonna
Yeah.
be got a full house. Nice.
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
So let's get rolling on with this because Hillbilly's here. He's gonna be taking over the show. Everybody, he's like the new owner, right? Look at him. I kid.
Thank you very much.
It's nice to see everybody here because our topic will definitely love the different angles everybody might have with the topic today. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have read the topic in Discord. It was suggested by Mrs. Hillbilly. I'm like, oh, geez, you know, what a tough, long topic.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you actually like portray this? Like, I've covered this topic semi before, but like, I'm like, how do you make it seem like Magic the Gathering is not like the key thing to make mental health a thing, but like, you know, how can we twist it to be like, how can Magic the Gathering help mental health? Because, you know, mental health stems a lot further than just Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering can be used as a tool, as a resource, which I got a whole monologue I'll read. But before I get into that, I want to know how you are doing, Mr. Hillbilly.
I'm doing pretty good. I got to do a short today. Got some semi-bad news and some good news, but the bad news is what brought on the good news.
So there's
That makes any
news.
sense.
So news is news, and news will come from Mr. Hillbilly. How are you doing, Cookie Dude?
I am doing fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot better. I'm off my walker and on a cane now. So,
All right.
Nice.
so it's just taken time to relearn it. Because when I had knee surgery a couple years ago, I had to do the same thing, walker, cane. And, but I'm doing good.
Nice.
You know, so I'm going to do a short today. Well, maybe a little longer than a short on me shuffling my deck for the first time.
Nice.
Cool.
So I'm going to do that. But anyway, pass it on to the next person.
Yeah. Hello to Balt. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Happy to be here as always. That was short and sweet, huh?
Yeah. I'm so excited. So happy to be here. How are you doing, TCG Dude?
Oh, I'm doing all right, bro. Had a interesting weekend. My weekend day started off with my neighbor's dog biting my dog. Oh god. Yeah, so $500 in a vet trip 4 hours later. Yeah, I got to putter around all day that day. Like, oh god, because like that's the kind of thing that happens and you're rattled from it. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't shake that off quickly.
How's
Right.
your dog doing, by the way?
Thanks for asking, bro. She's
Yeah.
actually good. It was just pretty much one clean puncture, so she doesn't have to get like surgery. It's not a huge tear. It's not a lot, not a lot of damage, despite how bad it like looked and was. So
Right.
yeah, man.
Good to
And you
hear,
know,
though.
it's not even that like I judge pit bulls because I actually am one of those. I'm a dog like lover. You know what I'm saying? I definitely favor animals, and I try to not have reservations toward any specific breeds. But yeah, it was a violent ass pit bull, bro. So yeah, man, you always have to have one eye open. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
I hear it's a dog eat dog world out there.
that's right.
Yeah, we had yep. I know how dogs are. We had a pit bull, and as kind as it could be, and then next minute it's attacking something. You know.
Yeah.
Well, a pit bull has a bad name and a bad rep. However, they can be good dogs if
Oh,
they
yeah.
are brought up
Socialized?
right.
Yeah. And
Any
socialized with
breed
other
of dog
dogs.
can be that way.
Oh,
Yep. All right. How are you doing, moving forward?
I'm doing good.
Yeah. Doing good. That
Yeah.
was short, sweet, and simple.
I was gonna say yesterday I got to talk to 2 friends I haven't talked to in a long while.
Oh,
Nice.
That which is nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's good to, be able to relinquish some of your thoughts of the past and be able to talk to people and reconnect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It
All
sure is.
Yeah. How you doing, Captain Waffles?
I'm doing great. I'm waiting for, can't wait for tomorrow. It's going to be my mental health day. And then
Yeah,
we get to, have some fun with some people. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow is the pool game, which we'll cover more later. Like I'm gonna cancel my game tomorrow night so I can watch and be part of that live game. Since it's a part of the game.
Oh, man, I feel special.
Yeah. Now let's say hello to some people in chat. Hey, Mrs. Hillbilly. Mrs. Hillbilly, what's up?
Mississippi.
Good morning. The real world world. The real world world. What's up? What's up? What's up? Time capsule. Thank you for that mail day yesterday. That was pretty epic.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was hella cool. And that looks like to be everybody in the world. But there's some people who had some comments to say about the dog thing. Whoop, whoop. All right. So, woo. So I'm going to try to tackle 2 topics today, but we'll see if we have time for the second topic. The first topic, let's talk about mental health. But before we get to that topic, we got to get to the first segment of the day. Here, Billy.
Okay, is that the
Yes, it is.
Card of the day.
Woo! The Ur Dragon is the card of the day.
nice?
Yeah, pretty spicy. I used to have a copy of it. Now I just got a card from. I'm like, man, if I had Ur Dragon, I'd probably start building around this deck. But nope, I don't have it anymore. He was a pretty pricey card back in the day.
Was
Anybody want to read this card out so people listening can know?
Sure. It costs 4 in Uber, which is one of each color. So 4 white, blue, black, red, and a green. 10 dragon avatar with immense. As long as the Ur Dragon is in the command zone or on the battlefield, other dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. This has a flying 10-10. Whenever one or more dragons you control attack, draw that many cards. Then you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield.
Wow, that's pretty saucy.
That's really spicy. That put a permanent on. Doesn't even necessarily have to be a dragon.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool, pretty powerful. He's a precon, but he used to be, and I don't know what his price is now, but he used to be like $100 card. Because he was but like, I think Pantlaza kind of took place over him. Like, even though Pantlaza is a dinosaur creature, but people love the dragon mechanic here and love the dragon theme. And so let's see. I'm
My
gonna
cards aren't.
There's one card that I play against it every time, and to great effect, and that is Whip Tongue Frog.
Whip Tongue. Oh,
Yeah, because Whip Tongue Frog just eats their entire board. It eats
Nice.
everything flying.
The cheapest one I could see is going for like $19. So it's definitely a lost price, but
yeah, I'm looking.
See, I call Pant Plaza Santa Claus because he's giving you gifts and he has claws.
That's right.
yeah.
So what I'm looking at on cardkingdom.com, it looks like Dragon is around $32. Probably a little more because a lot of them are sold out.
It depends on which release you're getting it from.
Yeah, the secret layer ones floating around $40-$45, but the Commander Masters and the 2017 ones roughly $20 to $25.
It's pretty good.
I see one on TCG Player for going for like $11.34. That's for
Yeah, TCG Player is a good way to scrap cards. There's a lot of competition on its own website that they can do that.
Yeah.
All right. Now,
But it's $15 shipping.
$15 shipping. Woo woo.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. All right. When the first sip of coffee touches your soul, you feel like this little seal. Yeah. Yeah. That's just a cute picture. Read the picture. I like it.
Yep,
Yeah.
I hear somebody's washing machine.
All right, so Mrs. Ibley shared this picture, and then for some reason she shared another picture, but it didn't save. I don't rise and shine. I caffeinate and hope for the best. All
And
right.
it's looking dead. Looking directly at Cootie Dude.
Yep.
It's like,
Yeah. I just can't. I can't have more than one cup of coffee, so I got to savor it over till it gets ice cold.
Yeah. When your coffee's too hot, you wait patiently. No, SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. All right.
All right. So those are the pictures of the day. Now let's roll into the subject because the subject has one long monologue I'll try to get through. I have good reading skills, so let's hope I can read this pretty good. Mental health. It's important for your livelihood and everyday goings on. Mental health has an importance to keep maintained. A lot of people think mental health is whatever makes me happy is good. Though the reality is, what can we do to keep ourselves afloat? Because instant gratification is not mental health, it's just a temporary fix. Keeping a clear mind and having a good opinion about yourself is the first step of having patience. And the will to see a project through is another step, even though if you have to take breaks, it's okay. Getting good exercise and eating healthier goes a long way to improving your mental health. Magic the Gathering can't fix your mentality. It can make you feel mentally prepared. The truth is, Magic the Gathering is a tool. If you used correctly, it can help maintain a mental health balance. With your mental health, how do you treat yourself outside of Magic? Well, how you treat yourself outside of Magic will translate into Magic. Playing a card game like Magic the Gathering can be thought of as a focus tool. It will take all of your emotions and filter them through the game. If you're having a bad day, that will be highlighted. Having a good day, that will show as you play. Magic the Gathering can be used to help clear your mind and exercise your critical and strategic thinking skills, but mental health needs to be taken care of, inside and outside of the game. Well, let's open the floor to how we can influence our ways of improving our mental health. You can tell that was all kind of smashed together. Sorry. There was like I got so much space to write on without taking out my description box, and I have to cram all the thoughts I can in a little segment because I got the whole pre-readied description box saved in my upload defaults. I have to copy over. So I hope what I'm saying is I hope that monologue translates good enough to open the floor to talking about the subject.
Well, there's a lot of different ways you can go. Am I echoing?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. I don't think I'm echoing anymore. So, mental health is one of those very touchy subjects when it comes to certain individuals, and I don't want to go down too many roads. But the thing is when it comes to your mental health, there are good vices and there are bad vices. And if you're doing the bad vices, you're going to damage your mental health more, because that in the monologue you said, well, if it's something I enjoy, then it's good for me. Not entirely, because there are some things that you can enjoy that are not good for you. Like drinking, for instance, is not a good thing. Now, going out and having a drink and socializing can be good for your mental health. Staying in and drinking a fifth of vodka by yourself with no one around is not good for your mental health.
Right.
So,
Dang,
really,
Maggie, I thought it was.
really quick, I want to highlight the part about the what people think is good for them is what gives them quick joy, is saying that's what people think is good mental health, but it's really not.
yes, no, I just wanted to like touch on it and kind of clarify it a little bit for people who may not have understood exactly what that means.
Right.
So it falls under those lines. Now, the other thing too is we can get so caught up in our daily lives that we forget to actually just take a break. And my wife is really good at this. She thinks that if we spend a whole Saturday sitting on the couch watching Netflix and relaxing and doing, having a day where we just kind of unwind, she thinks the day is wasted because we didn't do anything productive. When really we did do something productive. We took a break and enjoyed our time together, and sat there and was like, okay, look, we're taking a break from everything that's going on. We're recharging. We're having a good day of just like enjoying some good shows or like being together, things like that. So you really have to, one, not punish yourself when you do things like that, because I know a lot of people out there will punish themselves for taking a day off. And it's like, that's okay. That's good for your mental health to take a day off, like to not worry about the bills or not worry about what's going on at work or, all the stresses of life. Just push them aside for a day and do this like once a week, like it's good for you. So magic, getting into the subject of magic, that's where like F&M or going to Saturday and playing Commander or doing something or doing it on, a spell table or anything like that, that gives you that release, that outlet of like, hey, I'm going to take a break from my everyday things and just enjoy magic and have fun and be around people and recharge my batteries so that when I go back to work on Monday, I'm feeling refreshed.
Right.
One thing that I'd like to jump in at this point and take over from something else you said, because there was a ton of things to unpack in there. But one of the things that I believe that you said, Tortoise, which was really important, is that magic can amplify those feelings too. So when you are playing a game of magic, when you're involved in that, I feel like it's important that you be with people that you trust and people that you enjoy, because if you're having a bad day and you go in and you play magic and you have a bad time at it, like it's just going to make your mood that much worse. So it's important not only that you focus on the game itself, but keeping that in mind, keeping a good check on yourself and where your mental state is when you go into a game is going to have a lot to do with how the rest of the day goes and how your health is afterwards. I think the fact that if you go in with the right attitude or you play with people, it can turn things around, but it can also, like I said, and that's why I think it's important to go with people that you like and people that you trust and people that you want to play with, because, like I said, it's just going to turn the mood around if it's a bad day, as long as you're playing with people you like. But if you're playing with people that maybe are there to pub stomp you or whatever, it's just going to make things even worse. So I think it's important to check in with yourself too, going into games.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'd like to interject here. Okay, I've been a happy-go-lucky guy for most of my life. I mean, I always looked on the glass was half full. I mean, and then when I got sick of being sick. And I got so depressed, I wanted to end my life, But I talked to people, and they helped me get out of it, especially my wife. you know. But this show has done wonders for me.
Oh, thank
You
you.
know, it's done wonders. I mean, it gives me a purpose. Uh, I'm learning new stuff every day. You know, you can teach an old horse new tricks. You know,
Right.
so yeah. So I mean, I was only depressed for like a week, and it got really bad because every time I got over something, something else creeped in. I mean,
Right.
so and I just got
Yeah.
tired of being seeing doctors and being poked and doing all that, and I just couldn't handle it.
Right.
So I called my wife up and she set me in the right direction. And then when I started doing the show here, it was awesome, you know. And now I'm slowly learning magic, which is helps me with my mental health.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm not good at it. I'm not bad at it. You know, I hopefully be good at it. I guess I'm bad at it because I haven't really played. You know,
You're just
but
unexperienced right now.
Yeah,
you're
you
right.
just inexperienced. You'll
That's
learn.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you know, thanks to all you guys, I have I have a good outlook on life. You know, because I know I
Right.
always got you guys to talk to, even if it's just one of you guys. You know,
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah.
it gives me someone to talk to. I mean, I talk to my wife, you know, and let her know what's going on. But you know, I don't mind sharing my personal stuff because it might help somebody. You know,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So anyway, I just wanted to say, you know, thanks to all you guys for,
Right.
and even people on the chat, you know, because I do get something out of everything, you know.
Oh
So
yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So one thing I'd like to bring out, because I don't want to forget my thought, but that was a really good thought. Thank you for sharing, Dad. That was really touching, actually. Um, See, I have bipolar disorder, and with that comes a lot of confusion and anger issues. Um, well, there's a lot of people out in the world who have bipolar disorder. Some people don't know it. Some people do know it and don't control it. With this bipolar disorder, there's a lot of people out in the world who think people should care about how they treat them, right? So when I'm out in the public or someone's out in public, they think people should treat them with extra caution or extra care because they have bipolar disorder, they have an issue, and they try not to control it. But as a person with bipolar disorder who's learned this, I can't expect people to know I'm bipolar. It's not like I wear a sign saying, "Hey, I got bipolar syndrome" or whatever, you know. So it is good to think part of your mental health that how you think of other people and how people treat you is up to how you handle it yourself, right? So if people treat you badly, you know, you got to step away from the situation or try to control the situation. Don't expect people to tread on your world and know what you're dealing with. Like what Dad was saying, and this is kind of the thing that I want to highlight here. Dad was saying he was in the hospital, he was feeling bad, he wanted to end his life, right? It's a good thing you reached out because not everybody knows what you're thinking, right? And that's true about everybody. No one knows what you're thinking, right? In that kind of situation. So reaching out to someone you love, care about, trust, and talking to them about it can help you a lot.
yeah,
Yeah, even with going to local game stores or whatever and stuff. Whenever you're dealing with people, sometimes it's always good that in addition to that rule zero or whatever, that you sit down and you just ask people how they're doing. Um, and maybe it's not the right forum for them to share all their personal experiences or whatever, but sometimes just asking somebody how they're feeling today, how was your week, how is that, makes a difference and can make a real difference in that person's mental health and stuff too.
Right.
Like you said, keeping in mind how, I mean, what's the golden rule? Treat other people that you want to be treated, right? So, I
Right.
mean, I think that's a good thing to keep in mind when we're playing this game too. It's
Mm-hmm.
something else to keep in mind.
That's cool. That is a good idea. That's a good thought. I appreciate that 100%. Everybody's chipping in some really good thoughts here.
Now,
Go
another
ahead.
thing about mental health and magic. All right, Magic can affect the mental health, your mental health if you go in, like let's say you go into LGS on Friday Night Magic to play Magic, and you get stumped after game. That's going to affect your mental health. But but in order for it not to affect your mental health, you have to always remember Magic the Gathering. It is a card game.
Right.
Therefore, by it just being a card game, you cannot let this game affect your mental health. Because just like Arena, for example, there's a lot of times I'll play Arena and get my hind end stomped.
Right.
And yeah, I don't let it get to my high blood pressure or anything like that. I just tell myself, yeah, it's just a game. I can always go back later on this afternoon and stream another game if I want to.
Right.
And I just cannot let it affect you.
I think that's a good example of the two things, and one of the reasons why I'm not going to say I don't like Arena, but it's one of the things that I miss out on Arena. And I've talked about this a couple of times recently, actually, just this past week or whatever, in a couple of videos that I did. I like doing Arena when you can talk to the other person, when you can have interaction. I understand why they don't have it built into the game and stuff, because that could be a very toxic environment. But with your example, if that is happening at the game store, it doesn't have to be a bad experience if you talk to people, because it gives you something then to talk about. Like if I'm getting beat all the time, well, hey guys, what do you think I could do differently? That opens up a dialogue, and like I said, you might find out yourself talking to people, and that can improve your spirit and stuff like that. I wish, and like I said, I don't know what the easiest solution for Arena is, but I often worry about the fact that Arena can be, a win or die situation. And so, like you said, I do think it's important, like you said, maybe to step away from it a little bit, or you really kind of have to work at that idea that, like, why am I getting mad? This is just a game. It doesn't even, not even real cards. There's not even physical stuff there. These are ones and zeros. These are bytes. This is just an it's like, it's not even a real thing. Right. So it's important, very important to keep that in mind, I think, especially when you're playing Arena.
You're losing to the quantum variables.
Right. Yes. So on that note, a lot of people have a competitive edge to them, right? And when you're playing Arena, you're right. No one has competitive edge. It's healthy to have a little competition in your life. But like the biggest problem that a lot of people face that I've noticed on Spell Table and Arena and stuff is a lot of people are afraid to lose to themselves because they think they're better than they should be, right? But like, so on Arena, when you're playing against other people, or sometimes you're playing against AI. Or for example, one day I was playing Spider-Man, and dude, I just completely lost it on camera, trying to chase down Electro flying because I was not used to the swinging mechanics. And I'm like, I should be better at this. I've this part of the game before. I should be better at this. And no, I was not better than that.
Oh, damn. I want to see a clip of that.
It's like the second episode in the playlist. But dude, I was yelling. My meds weren't working that day. It feels like. But the truth is, we got to learn as a person to accept defeat and know we can get better. Because sometimes we have to fall and lose it all, right? To know that we had something and learn from it and rise above what we fell to before. Sorry, my brain tried going to a Linkin Park song there, and I was fighting like hell to get out of it.
So I play a lot of Call of Duty, right? And anybody who's played any FPS games know what those comms are like when you have open mics. Yeah, bro. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like I'm not one of those I've left that in my teenage years, being upset at the game, at Call of Duty or whatever, right? I just know that getting shot and killed on there maybe every 10 seconds is just the reality. All right. But Arena, oh bro, Arena boils my blood sometimes.
Well, especially like when you draw an opening hand, you're like, I got 3 land, I'm good, and then you don't draw another land for like 10 turns. You're like, what?
Right.
Like, but that's the variance of the game, and you have to realize that there's going to be a winner, there's going to be a loser. So
Right.
For sure.
And we got to accept the things we can't control, and we got to be able to accept, and we should be able to take care of the things we can control. In that situation, because like there is a variance. You're starting with 7 random cards, unless you're cheating. You're starting with 7 random cards. You're trying to get the most optimal hand out of your mulligan, and oops, we just lost Cookie Dude. But like we need to we need like one of the best things I could say is go with the flow and don't let the flow dictate how you feel.
Yeah.
Because like
like you said, there's like the things you can control is like 99.9% of the things out there. There's a very small fractional amount you can control, and the
Right.
sooner you learn that and relinquish the fact that I can't control practically everything,
right.
the happier you'll feel, because you're like, okay, the things I can control, I'll work on that. Everything else, I'll just let it be.
Right.
That's how I've always lived my life. It's like, if like my wife will come to me, she's like this and that. I'm like, okay, so what of that can we control? Well, none of
Right.
it. Okay, then why are you worrying about it? Well,
Right.
because of this. I'm like, okay, we can go through the quantum mechanics of infinite possibilities and
Mhm.
sit here for a year and try to come up with solutions for every single one of them, or we can move on with our day.
That's true.
Yeah.
And like, for example, sometimes like on my YouTube channel, and this is not a self-shield thing, this is actually a real story kind of thing. Like with my YouTube channel, I knew I wasn't good at everything, and I couldn't learn everything all at once to be good at everything. So I'd take times like my thumbnails, because I'm proud of my thumbnails. And I started working on my thumbnails, and I started learning thumbnails. And I'm like, I'm going to learn one thing at a time and get better at one thing. And once I feel like I've crept up to the peak where I can learn from that, I'll move to something else and improve that. And as I go, like an RPG, other skills will advance as you keep working on your projects. And that's how I've been treating it. And so far, it's paid off. Like my thumbnails are top notch for the tortoise. All right. Tortoise. I'm telling you, if you don't like my thumbnails, you're in the wrong cat. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I gotta
bye.
go then. Yeah, I gotta go too.
So going on to the whole thing of like, worrying about things and mindset and everything, there's a really good book out there by Carol Dweck. It's called Mindset. If you read that book, it will help you to understand the fixed mindset and the growth mindset, and how if you learn to work towards the growth mindset, you will relinquish a lot of control to things that you cannot control. You will learn how to better develop your mental health and understand that the things that happen to you in life aren't necessarily just because you're having bad luck. It's
Right.
because there are experiences and things that are supposed to happen to you, whether good or bad, so that you can share with the greater good and become a community that that can rely on each other and build trust and help each other rather than tear each other down.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes that's harder said than done, right? Like look at the mindset between a new player and an older player, right? A new player will see a combo for the first time and be like, dude, that shit just blew my mind. An old player's like, this is just a combo I've been playing for years, Two different mindsets, But the truth is, not like let's take Cookie Dude, for example. He hasn't played a combo in his life, right?
No.
And I don't think his deck has any major combos in it right now. But like once he starts putting 2 to 2 together, he's going to be impressed with some of the stuff he can do, right? Where I look at his deck list and I kind of know how his deck runs and stuff, so I won't be as excited as him when he does something new. But I will try my best to be as excited with him for that, because he's coming into this with brand new shoes on, with a brand new helmet on, because he's learning it for the first time. We got to separate one thing that's toxic in the community is there's a lot of people who expect you to know everything they know. But that's impossible. You can't know everything everybody knows, because their experiences and perspectives are always different in some way, if it's bent a little or not. And
Yeah,
I think
elitism at the card shops and or online is a very toxic trait. It's something that I'm not going to lie, I was at that one point, and I've learned to realize, through my years of growing as a person,
right,
when I go play pre-release, it's funny. I'll sit down across almost anybody there,
right,
and the instant reaction is like, "Oh God, why do I have to play you?"
right,
And it's not because I'm an a-hole. It's because I know the game really well, and I think the last 5 pre-releases I've gone undefeated. So it's like it's one of those things where I've played the game on such a high level. I know what I'm doing, but when I play against these people, I'm not sitting there going, "Yeah, I'm about to whoop you. Like it's over. Just pack your stuff up." No, like I'll literally sit across them and they'll say that and be like, "Look, hey, anything can happen. You can win this game. Like I can draw very poorly and you win." And so I'm trying to teach them, like, hey, don't go into the game automatically thinking you're going to lose because you've already lost if you go in with that mentality. And second of all, if we're playing during the game and they have a question and they're like, I don't know if it works this way, or they'll play something and be like, no, it goes like this and this is how you do it, and I'll let them take stuff back. Like I'm not like, oh, you played it, it's over, like you lose. No, like I walk them through steps, and at the end they'll even ask me like, hey, what do you think of my deck? And we'll go through their card pool and I'll point things out and I'll say, hey, this card is probably better fitted in your deck. And it's just like I've taken on this leadership role of like, hey, I want you guys to be good too. I want you guys to learn and get better at the game as well, because the better you guys get, the better we all get, and then we have a lot more fun because we're all sitting here playing this game and we're playing it at a fun level rather than just like a, oh man, this sucks, or whatever mindset they have. You know what I mean?
right. No, you're right. I mean, there's definitely a separation between like older, more structured players and other things. Like, have you ever watched Louis Scott Vargas draft a cube? He'll be like going through cube cards and like he'll look at a cube card he likes. Like, I like this. This is pretty good. This is one of the strongest cards in the cube. It says there's very few things that can take care of this in this cube because he knows the cube inside and out pretty much. He's like, this is a strong pick, so I'm gonna take this. He's like, I'm not gonna pick this because too many things get this, and he's just breaking it down, sounding as smart as he can be, but at the same time, it's that elitist mentality. He's like, oh, I'm just better than everybody else almost. Like, not thinking that's his mindset, but he kind of goes on that route where he's like, I know this cube better than everybody else. I think this is going to be the best pick for me. I'm like, okay. I mean, I like Luis Scott Vargas. I like watching him draft every once in a while, but when you have people like, I love cube, I have a cube, but like I like it when someone's drafting cubes, like, oh, I want to try this card. I don't know exactly what this card's going to do, but I know it's pretty powerful in this format, so let's see what we get and see what we go up against because we pulled this card.
I think another thing, drawing a distinction between newer and older players, in my case, I'm constantly rediscovering my love for the game, but it's usually through new players, because I like the joy it springs in people when they find their combo for the first time, or they've put the cards together. I've had that lately here with my wife because she's been getting into the game over the last year a lot, and so on. And so sharing those things and seeing the game through other people's eyes can help invigorate you and help your mental health. And I think that it's important, like I said, to have that ability to share with others and take pride in their, I don't know if pride is the right word. I was going to say take pride in their victories, but
joy.
Take joy. Exactly. Take joy from the victories that they're getting and stuff. Don't be mad that somebody beat you that shouldn't have or whatever. Be happy for them that, hey, they triumphed over me. I'm more experienced. That's got to feel good for them. So take a little bit of that for yourself too, and just enjoy that too. Enjoy that feeling with them.
Absolutely. I don't know how many times growing up I would play at F&M and I'd beat the best player in the room and he would just throw an absolute fit. And it's like, dude, like I lose to you 9 times out of 10. Like I got this one. And the thing is if anything, you should be happy about it because it shows that me playing against you, I'm either learning some stuff, or I'm, developing my skill by watching you and other people. So you can only get better by playing better people. Well, not
Right.
really, not the
Well,
only way, but it's one of the best ways to
One of
get
the
better.
best ways, yeah.
Right. It's the same vein as looking up to your heroes because you respect them and love what they do. You know, like if you have a hero in life, let's say Martin Luther King's your hero. You know, you love him, you love what he did, you mimic that. Well, in the game of Magic, if you like have a pro player or a good player that's a hero in your eyes, you try to mimic them. So you try to learn off their experiences.
Well, I mean, with anything, you don't progress if you play somebody who is equal or not as good as you. You always progress when you play somebody who's more knowledgeable and gives you a challenge because eventually you will learn something and you will be moved to your next level. That's with everything in life. You know,
Well,
if the status
I
quo is like I play poker. I can't play against the best, but if I played against somebody brand new, then I'm not going to learn anything. But if I play against someone who's better than me, who knows more of the tricks, then I'm going to learn something. Same with Magic. At first, everybody's going to be better than me, so I'll learn a lot. You know, so you know
Well, I
that's
want to
how.
interject there really quick because you can learn by playing someone who's equally as good as you Magic because your deck is 60 cards or 99 cards. You will never know all the variations in your cards until you play them. So every time you play, you'll get a different hand, a different outlook, a different strategy, right? So with Magic, instead of thinking I won't get as good by playing players equal to me. The exact opposite is true. The more you play Magic the Gathering with someone equal to you, is the more you'll understand your deck. When you play against people who are better than you, that is a variance I wouldn't touch because some people have decks that are one way too expensive and outside your league, because not everybody has a good deck is that skilled, but they just net deck a really good deck now or proxied a really good deck or has the money to afford a really good deck. But really, it's the gameplay over and over again teaches you how to play different strategies in different ways. Like now, I know I got like 20 years of experience over you, Dad, on this. Not to sound rude about it, but like a lot of it is learning like how to play against counterspell decks, how to play against these kind of decks. Learning the value of a board wipe in an average game. People might not like board wipes, except the bulk. He's an evil son of a gun. But like,
I love them.
right? But like, there's a lot to learn in Magic because it's more like, I guess the way to think about it is you want to learn how to deconstruct someone's deck when playing it than it is to try to play against a deck that's just better than you. You just want to learn what your deck can do and figure out what you can do. 'Cause sometimes one deck cannot defeat a certain deck just because the archetypes are just that way. But sometimes you can give that one archetype a hell of a run because you learn to play your deck better.
I have a little something to add to that. So
Knock yourself out.
so I agree with you 100% because yes, one of the best ways to learn is playing somebody better than you. But I've always had the mentality that there are 7.5 billion people on this planet, right? That means
Right.
there are 7.5 billion teachers and 7.5 billion students. You can always learn something from somebody. It doesn't matter if they're inexperienced than you or more experienced than you.
Right.
I've played against people who barely have played 2 weeks worth of Magic, and they've shown me things that I'm like, huh, I never thought of that.
Right.
So you
Like,
can learn from
Oh,
everybody. The thing
yeah.
is the biggest thing is you learn more, and it's one of the better ways playing the experienced people. But I've always had the outlook that everybody can teach me something because if I'm sitting there going, well, you're inexperienced, I can't learn from you, I'm already putting myself in a fixed mindset.
right. Especially when
Yeah.
new players come up with some of the craziest little derpy combos at work, and you're like, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
because the experienced players when they first started out and they first doing combos, uh, I'm sure that combos were different than 20 years ago than they are today. I'm sure they still have the new ones, and because they always come out with new cards, right?
Right.
And I don't know how many different decks there are out there. I know
Infinite.
there's at least, as long as I know, there's two. Because that's all I have. But so yeah, so if there's infinite number of decks, there's infinite number of combos, but for me, you have to make it. I have to make it simple for me to grasp it and understand it. But you guys, with your knowledge, can also walk me through it. To tell me, when to, what's it called when you turn the cards sideways on top of it? That's
Tap.
Tapping, yeah.
That's
that's
tap.
tapping, and that's how you start the game, right? With a tap, or you don't
No.
have to
You untap.
non-tap.
Like every upkeep, if you have a permanent on the battlefield that's untapped, you untap it before you draw your card.
Yep.
Yeah. But you also need a land to tap, right?
Right.
Right.
But that will happen as you progress in the game, and those are things you will learn too. Because we'll walk you through the games when we actually get a good game in. We'll walk you through the game. We'll teach you everything we can. We'll even give a peekaboo at your hand when we need to help you play the best strategies. We want you to do better and learn the strategies itself because it can be complicated.
Yep.
Which is a good segue to the next topic. But Hillbilly wanted to say something really quick.
You're absolutely right. There is all kinds of decks out there. I mean, it is an infinite number of decks, and everybody when you start new, you need to learn your deck, learn what it can do, learn what it can't do, and in order to get better at the game.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna roll into the next topic. The next topic is called Basic MTG. What I've done is I selected a bunch of cards from Dad's Commander deck that he's going to start playing.
Ooh.
So we can teach him, like, boom, right there, Primal Might. This card costs a green and an X. It's a sorcery. A sorcery can be played on your first and second main phase only. You'll learn those phases as you go. The X is how much mana you can pump into it. X is any amount of mana that you have available to pump into it if you choose to put all your mana into it. But you can put in 5 mana. If you have 6 mana, you don't have to pump in all the mana, but X is a number you choose.
So it's unknown, so it could be 1 to 7 or 10, I guess.
Right.
How much mana you have?
Beyond.
Right.
Just as much mana as you have.
Right. It's a sorcery, like I said, so it can only be played during your main phases, which you'll learn more about your main phases. To start a creature you control gets plus X plus X. X is equal to that X number up top. And then it fights up to 1 target creature, which you'll learn what fighting is. It's where you have one creature douche it out with another creature. Boom, boom, boom.
Doom, doom.
Then you got another sorcery called Chain Reaction. Right? This is another variable card. It costs 2 generic, 2 red. Chain Reaction deals X damage to each creature, where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield. It's a sorcery, so it can only be played during your main phases, right? And X is equal to the amount of creatures on the battlefield, and you're trying to board wipe with them. This is in your... So this is why I'm bringing it up. Sorceries and creatures are played during your main phase only unless there's a flash ability, which you'll learn if your deck has a creature with flash. Which I don't think it does. Then
I don't want to cut you off here, but I just want to break it down just a little bit slower even. First of all, when this card appears in your hand, one of the first things you're going to do is look up in the right-hand corner as you're looking at the screen. You're going to look up in that right-hand corner. You're going to look at those pips up there to see how much this thing is going to cost you. The next thing I would do, and this is just what you would do in an opening hand, if this card appears in front of you, first thing you're going to take note of, or at least in my case, this is what I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to take note of is how much does this thing cost me? Then I'm going to look down to the middle of the card and see what that line there where it says sorcery. I'm going to look at that portion of the card and see when can I play this card? When does this become important to me? And then the next thing I'm going to look at is what does this card do? So that's kind of the order you're going to get. When you get the cards and put them in your hand, the first thing you're going to do is look at all the cards. The first thing you look at the top, let's see, okay, which of these has the cheapest cost across the top? Then which of these can I play when? And then the next thing is like, what is this going to do for me? So that's just kind of the progression that you go through when you get a card, generally speaking. So I didn't mean to cut you off or whatever, but that's just kind of how you would look at a card or how you would evaluate it to start with, maybe, or at least maybe somebody has a different way of looking at it. I don't know.
Well, right now,
No, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. I'm just trying to keep it simple too. The more we can make it simple, the better. So I think you did a good job. These are basic lands. You're familiar with the red and green one here.
Yeah.
They're kind of tucked in. But these, you can play one of these per turn. During your first and second main phases, you're allowed to play one land per turn. So it could be play one during your first main phase or your second main phase. Usually during your first main phase. This is what these lands are what produce mana to get that mana cost up there where it says 2 red up there in the top right corner.
Yeah.
Those lands are important to your deck. You have like 36, 37 lands, maybe 40 based on your deck. I don't know exactly, but there's enough to kind of divide the deck evenly so you're not missing a land drop too much, but knock on wood.
So the two you play two red lands, right?
Right. So you have to have 2 red lands for that. Yep.
And then that's just to get onto that's just to play that card. Right. So
Actually, it's 2 red lands and 2 more. You have to fulfill that number at the top. So you can spend 2 red lands, but then to fill the rest of the number out, it could be anything else. It doesn't have to be red lands. It could be anything. But you're going to have to spend a total of 4 for that card.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
And you always have to look at the converted mana cost, which is all of the symbols and numbers, and add them up, and that's the total amount that needs to be played for that card.
Okay, so that'd be 4 total.
Right.
So
Correct.
it'll be 2 red lands and 2 others.
Of anything else.
Right.
Okay.
God.
Any other color land.
What used to be called generic in the 90s. I'm the only person I know that actually calls that generic mana.
All right. I say generic a lot too. Dad, are you available to be on the tomorrow show?
What
tomorrow's morning
time?
show? No, tomorrow's morning show, like today. Like tomorrow.
No, I'll be doing. I go in. I leave the house at 8:30 to be in Reno by 9:30.
All right, so I guess we'll continue this Sunday.
I mean, I could watch it. You know,
well, because I want to go through the cards because I broke down each different type of card in your deck, even to this Planeswalker, and I want to have time to go through it with you. But I want to start walking you through your deck so you are familiar with the different types.
Well, if I don't have to bring my deck,
no, you don't have to bring your deck. Yeah,
I mean, I can. I got earphones where I can plug in my phone and get on the show.
Well, you can be here Sunday, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sunday we'll just cover it. We'll just do something different tomorrow. I want you to be here so, like, if we have a group, like several of us or whatever, how many people are here, we can talk about it, break through the deck, walk you through the deck. Because anybody who watches this and is part of the show and goes through the same steps of learning this stuff as you, they will gain the same kind of knowledge that you get to learn, and they'll get to follow through your eye set. That's what I want to do. But we have very few minutes before the end of the show. Yeah. And I was thinking we'd cross over more cards, but there's a lot of things we want to say.
Sunday will be good.
All right, so we'll cover this Sunday. Nope. And we'll make this Sunday's topic called Teaching Dad Magic.
Yes.
Sunday. So with that, we're going to roll over to the shill section.
Okay, folks, I got the only thing I have to show today is I'm going to do another ring stream this afternoon, 2:00 Central Time. And then tomorrow there'll be at 2:00 Central Standard Time, there'll be a Commander game. And also I'm going to have to put a short outs referring to some bad news and good news. The bad news brought the good news in. And stay tuned for that short to come out.
All right. Boop, boop. Now, let's go to TCG Dude. Anything you want to shell out at the moment?
Honestly, I don't have a whole lot going on. I had my 2014 Chinese Simplified box break that I was trying to promote. But you know what? it's my birthday tomorrow, so I think I'm just gonna open it myself.
Happy
All
early
right.
birthday.
Happy early birthday.
If you're not on
Thanks.
tomorrow, if you're not on tomorrow, we'll know why because you got drunk tonight.
Yeah. No, I actually, dude, it's kind of lame. I actually close 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. tonight, tomorrow, and the next day.
Well, happy birthday with the hours. Woo woo,
Yeah.
birthday hours.
Thank God for edibles.
Hi, kill me.
Oh goodness.
All right. Oh, the ball.
Hey.
Your turn.
All right. Well, a huge thank you to I've got 1,000 subscribers now, or
Ooh.
followers on Instagram, so that's cool.
Nice.
And more importantly, though, I am breaking that box of Eldritch Moon. And we are hunting for 8 specific cards. I am going to be giving away some packs out of that, at least 6 packs, the bare minimum of 6 that I'm giving away. I am on the hunt for 8 different monster cards. I found one of them. I won't say which one. You'll have to stay tuned. You'll have to look up Tybalt's Apprentice on both places to see that, both here on YouTube and that. But if I find the other 7 creatures, I'm going to give the rest of the packs away.
Nice.
So stay tuned for that. And I think that's pretty much it.
All right,
Thanks for having me.
It makes sense to your background why it looks like there's a lot of Cthulhu's in the background.
There's a few here and there.
All right. Next, it's Captain Waffles. Let me pull up your doohickey.
As we all know, pool games tomorrow. I'll be pre-game streaming earlier in the day, probably like 12 or 1 Pacific Standard Time. And then 5 p.m. the pool game starts. There's lots of stuff to be given away. The packs you can get in the pool game are Lost Caverns of Ixalan, Murders of Karlov, and some Outlaw Thunder Junction packs. They do not dip into the prize box. I have extra ones. There's a couple Outlaw Thunder Junction pre-release kits to be given away. There's a Twiddler card. If you pull that you get one of the pre-release kits. The Sheldred's the main prize in the pool game, but there's also lots of $10, $20 cards in there, couple $30 cards in there, and yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff to be given away. So it'll be fun. Yeah, I might even have Superfast and DJ and a couple others come onto the stream and we all chat while we're doing it.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right. Boop, boop, and Kigadoo, is there anything you want to show?
No, just I'm going to do a short video on me shuffling the cards, and that's about it. And so that's all I got. I'm just learning. The other day we figured out how to set up my camera. I'm just waiting for my bus to come in.
Yeah,
so I can hook up the camera and my mouse and whatever else I have. But anyway, that's all I have.
All right. Moving forward, anything you want to show?
Nothing.
All right. Well, today is Friday. I'll be playing some Spider-Mans tonight.
Ooh,
And I don't think I have anything planned during the day. But, well, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for the full house, everybody. You guys rocked it, and we had a good topic. And
I've seen that flash.
It was a great great topic. And it looks like it's going to look up for me, so I'll have to put my knowledge cap on so I absorb knowledge,
Right.
But repetition, I'll finally learn it. But yep.
Right. It sounds awesome, and I can't wait for you to learn Magic more and get into the game of Magic and learn to feel how it gets to be beat. What's up? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. I'm sure that will be a normal feeling for a while.
Well, honestly, we'll try to make sure you got a fair game.
Well, once I learn it, I'd like you guys to just treat me as a newer player and play your normal stuff, and I'll catch on. You know.
Definitely.
We'll make sure to destroy your lands. Don't worry.
All right.
No, that's just
I
it.
wouldn't expect anything less.
All right. All right, everybody. We got to wrap this up. So until next time, listen to Lord Megatron.
Shockwave! What is your command, Megatron?
Subscribe for Magic the Gathering and other content for evil fun.
Fear not, Megatron. Cyber